So there it is. Going to get some fuel and then we're off. 1 million miles. So we are starting, not in the best condition. The original kilometers are 520, the lower one. The daily odometer is 503. We're just going to get petrol, and don't forget to reset to 0. Pin on the lower, underneath the dash.
Right.
Behind probably behind.
Here.
Yes. And then you push it and turn it. Yep, perfect. Yep. One more. Almost. Yeah. So now set to 0, and we have 521 in total. And now we start. Everything else, fuel is on, oil pressure is there, wipers are working, and there we go. So sadly, yes, it's still raining, and this is a pity, but we hope to catch some dry sections, and that would be nice. So this is hometown, this is Osnabrück, and heading towards Hanover. So we're going towards Kassel, and I will not tell you which route we are taking. That's a surprise, you need to stay on. Dropped slightly, so I'm guessing is maybe 10 or 11 liters per 100 kilometers. That's how we are calculating. We stay within 3,000 revs. That's about 120 kilometers per hour. Everything is functioning. The driver is enjoying the car, and we're also getting some brighter weather. We're just escaping from a winter storm. Outside is about 3 degrees, and we're just going at 3,000 revs, and that's we are just running in the engine. So hopefully we get an oil change this evening later in a workshop somewhere southern Germany, and tomorrow we can go a little bit faster then. Stay tuned. So how does that feel? So it's the first time you're driving an E-Type, so you bought this wonderful car, and how does it feel? What is your impression?
Yeah, it feels lovely. It's like playing a vinyl record or taking photos on a film camera. It's going back in time and feels adorable. Great noise from the engine, no need for the radio, just enjoying the sound.
Is it tempting? Is it tempting to accelerate?
It's very tempting to accelerate, but I'm not allowed today.
No, not today. But it's wonderful, the bonnet, the view, and you're just floating within the traffic, and I bet you're looking forward to tomorrow. It's a nice toy, isn't it? Actually covered 270 kilometers. Everything is still nice. Revs is 3,000 just below. We are going through some mountains in Germany. Instruments are working fine. It is not the best weather, hard wind, sometimes heavy rain, but we will manage. Car's running well and smooth. We still have this roaring sound when accelerating, and stay tuned for more. So this is our first fuel stop. Have done about 350 kilometers now, and yeah, doing second half for today. So we did 330 kilometers with 36 liters. That's not too bad. So back here on the trip, 1,000 miles through Europe, delivering the flat floor E-Type, one of the 500 cars only, and the weather has improved. The roads are getting dry. We started in terrible condition this morning. We just stopped for the fuel and some food. We also had to get some service done, and at the moment we have covered 353 miles, and we did get some fuel, 36 liters, so that's about 11 liters per 100 kilometers, so that's very convenient. So even though there's an unlimited speed limit here, we can only go up to 3,000 revs still, and that's about 120 kilometers per hour. Can it be any better than this? Even in the rain, such a pleasure to drive the E-Type. The roaring. So now that we have done 369 kilometers, how does it feel?
It feels great. It feels very natural. It loves to speed. It's a great experience. The feel of the car and the sound, and this retro interior, and all the buttons that you need to press in a totally different way than in a modern car. I think it's a lovely feeling, great experience.
So now I'm asking, why is it that you bought an E-Type? What made you buy an E-Type?
Well, I think I dreamt about an E-Type since I was a student. But you know how that goes. First you don't have the money. When you have the money you don't have the time, maybe. Yes, now I decided that it's maybe about time to indulge in this pleasure. And of course, because I don't have the knowledge of all the versions of the car and all the technicalities of it, I tried to reach for an expert. So I contacted you to guide me through the process of understanding which type of E-Type I would enjoy, and then obviously finding the right one. And yes, now it's lovely to be with you on the road to learn more about the car, about driving it, and about taking care of it.
Oh yes, I did mention that before. So there is a kind of, how do you say, an exercise or getting to know the car. So we started together, and we just transferring the car from one place to another. We don't say where we are going, but we started in Osnabrück, and so the car is doing well, extremely well. It is tempting to exceed the speed limit, and it's just a pure pleasure. So we will stop on the way a couple of times, because we will do an intermediate service at a friend's workshop, and we take it from there then. Thanks for watching. See you next exchange. At 9 o'clock this morning, and we arrived here 5:30. So it's a long trip, and we arrived in the darkness. And luckily, Stefan, maybe you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Stefan.
Yes.
And I do a lot of classic Lamborghinis.
Lamborghini, let me see. So there are some nice cars here, and you wouldn't be surprised. There's another real car. So there's another E-Type here. So Stefan luckily said I could come round and do an oil change, or if anything happened. So we really came here with this car now, and I have to say the oil is totally clean. Really nice to see. Everything is totally dry from underneath, and that is what we like to see. So it's a brand new, freshly restored car by the Riga company, Auto Classics, and the car was driving wonderful. It was a real pleasure, and we could have continued all the way, but we decided to stop here and do a safety check, to check everything, to retighten the bolts and nuts, do an oil change, and luckily Stefan said, yeah, you're welcome. We will stay here in the village overnight, get some local food. And Stefan, where are we? Ganghofen. Where is that? Look at the cars here. And you guess what's under here. Please write your comments under the video what this is, and I tell you if you're right or not. So Stefan, we are in Ganghofen.
Ganghofen, yeah.
And that is where? In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, kind of. It's between Mühldorf or Munich and Landshut.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
So definitely we came here the last half an hour we were driving without lights really. It was totally dark, and so I think the food is good here.
Should be. Yeah.
So something to look forward to. Oh, look at this one here. They look huge. V12s. So look at this. Well, this is all brand new. At least it looks all brand new.
Restored, yeah.
Wow. That's a huge gearbox. And this is a proper engine.
This is a proper V12 from the Spada.
Haha. I wouldn't be able to tell you what car that is from. So I'm limited to the E-Type very much. So very nice, yeah. And
how come that you started doing Lamborghinis?
I worked at a workshop where we did a lot of classic Ferraris and all that. And I kind of learned there, I did my apprenticeship there. And then I said I should start myself.
So how old are you? How old are you?
25.
25 only, look at that.
With 20 I bought the Spada, where this engine belongs.
Really?
Yeah.
With 20?
Yeah, put all my money in there.
Oh, how great is that? How great is that?
I have to try it. Because next time I can buy such a car, I'm like 50.
Yes. Oh, lovely to see that. And here you have all the peace and silence you need to do all the work. No distractions.
Yeah, that's good.
No Oktoberfest here. Oh, it's nice. So this is
like a project car.
Yeah,
really
for 20 years.
Where do you find them? A Lamborghini project car. Really?
And my old boss, we
wow. Oh, that's a huge car. That's from the 70s.
And it was standing for 20 years because the owner stopped at 70 to drive it. And with 90 he sold it to me.
Probably for the right amount of money.
Yeah.
So
I give the son a bit of money.
Yeah.
Get the contract with the daddy.
So you own an original Lamborghini with 25. Two.
No, only this one.
Only this one.
No, that would be cool.
That would be cool, huh?
Then it would be just a hobby.
Look at that. But that's a family car then, so you will keep that forever.
Hopefully.
Yes. That would be great to see that one.
Was Wilder
It
was always in Munich.
Yeah. So it's a German delivery, really?
It was blue originally.
The
interior is original, and then they repainted it in the 70s in black.
That's a huge car. It's squared. That's from 70 what?
73.
73. That's a typical classical design with this glass here, like the Ferrari.
No.
The Maserati.
The Maserati.
The
Yeah.
Kashim or
Yeah. And
Kamshim. Ghibli auch. Oh, yeah. They're really square. Look at the center console. Wow, that's like a spaceship. Look at that. I mean, this is 70s. This is totally squared, but it's still interesting and really nice. Wow. And this is a nice one.
This is very beautiful.
Oh, that's a nice, beautiful one. That one.
400 to 600 something.
Yeah. So oil filter, oil change done, everything perfect, ready for tomorrow. Next day. Lovely. So day number 2. We are back in Stefan's lovely workshop, and now in the daylight we see the Lambos here, and it's just yeah, it must be a pleasure working here, Stefan, huh?
Could be worse.
Yeah, it can be worse, definitely, yeah. So we have these Lambos, really nice, and this is an engine, looks twice the size than an E-Type. So that is, but I don't think the Lambos are as easy to drive as our E-Types. And here is Stefan's E-Type. It's a 4.2, and that just speaks for itself. And this is our beauty. A flat floor, one of 503 cars. This is December 61. And let's see how many miles or kilometers we have done yesterday. So remember, yesterday we started and we put it down to 0, and now we have 679, so 680 kilometers we did. The total from new, I would say, because the car was fully restored, is now 1,200 kilometers, and everything is looking good. There's my jacket in there, and the luggage cases. So Stefan is the engine expert and specialist, and we're just adding a little bit more of oil after it was standing all night. So we changed the oil and the filter just to be sure.
Aber läuft gut an sonst. Wirklich?
So this is day number 2, and we just left Stefan's wonderful workshop, and we are in Bavaria. As you can see, winding roads. The roads are dry, they start to dry, and a bit curvy, so it's perfect for the Jaguar. And today we planned about 500 kilometers. Some small roads in the beginning, and we have to cross some country borders. So looking forward to that. How do you feel?
Yeah, lovely. Got a good rest after the long ride yesterday, and weather should be better today, so really looking forward to this. We'll try to use the day also to take some photos of the car and of the two crazy guys venturing so late in the season.
Oh, well, that a good laugh. Now we get the curves here. Watch out, this is a bit tricky maybe when you do it first time. Wonderful roads here, but this is a bit tricky when you don't know them. It's a racing track. Ooh. Wow. Oh, shame you don't see this. If it's up and down, you don't see that. My driver's laughing, having a hell of fun here. This in the dry will be even better. So yesterday we did almost 700 kilometers. How did you feel by the end of the day? I mean, we are in the flat floor with the steep seats, and
I feel better actually than what I thought. I thought that 7-8 hours in these seats would hurt.
Yeah.
But it was actually more than okay.
Yeah. Well, you only allowed me the last hour to drive, But so after 7 or 8 hours in the car, I felt very relaxed in the evening. I didn't even feel any mileage in my body. Sometimes, you know, when you do some trips, you're exhausted, tired. But yesterday I felt quite comfortable. Here's the river in, and we're crossing the border here to Austria. And suddenly the fuel costs twice as much. So we are now at the petrol station and doing fuel. Currently we have 747.4 kilometers. Total distance of the car is 1,269. And we are taking fuel at Ajib. We had 36 litre the other time, so we'll be 42 maybe, 42 litres. 43.5, yes. So that's decent, 43.5. So second fuel stop after a long day. We started this morning, we did fuel, and now it's the second time, and we do have 1,179, so let's say 1,180. Of course it is only a 3-digit and then the 100 meters, but below you see 1,702 kilometers in total. Let me see if I can zoom that in. There you are. And everything is okay and working. We get some fuel. Let's see how much we get. We switch the light off, otherwise we are consuming too much. And we are in Hungary actually. And here you see the price. What is that? 610. So you know we're a different country here, and we did how many miles? 740 to 1,100, so it's 430. So I guess something like 48 liters. 48, 49 liters. 40, 47.57. So it's day number 3, the last day and stage of our test and transit of the E-Type. And we started in terrible weather condition. We just escaped from the snow. It was started snowing in Germany, but further we went south, the better the weather became. So sadly, it's the last stage really. So it says 207. It says 207, but actually it's 1,207. That's the distance we covered so far. And below you see there 1,729. That's the total the car has done after restoration. 500 kilometers was when we started. So everything is good. And today is the best day. Can't be any better. Looking forward to this drive. That's it. So lovely and wonderful sunshine this morning. This is what the E-Type is made for. We are somewhere in the countryside in Hungary here, and so yes, 1,200 kilometers so far, and still a pleasure. We had a good sleep yesterday. Back on the road, this time we are in Hungary, having covered 1,240 kilometers, and we just have a motorway, couple of hours of motorway ahead of us, and yeah, enjoying 265 brake horsepower. Lovely, lovely. And so all of those guys thinking that the flat floor is only a trailer queen, this car has done 1,200 kilometers within 2 days. So come on guys, we have been through heavy rain, kind of snow, all conditions, and want to see your cars on the road as well. So now you are the owner of this car and you're driving this since the last 48 hours really.
Yes.
And so what did you expect and what is the reality?
Well, I expected it to be quite complicated and tricky to drive it, but it turns out that it's very smooth to drive, and I'm impressed by how direct all the reactions of the car are based on your action. So be it when you press the gas or when you turn the wheel, there's a direct immediate response. Obviously because your action is not mediated by any electronics or hydraulics or servo like in a modern car. So in a sense it feels an extension of your body almost. And you feel surprisingly in much more control of the car than even in a modern car. So I'm enjoying it greatly together with Michael on this road trip.
So it's not just the beauty of the car, it is only...
It's also the pleasure of driving it, and the pleasure of the sound of it, I think.
Yeah, that's
half
music.
the fun is the sound of the engine. We didn't turn on the radio till now because we didn't feel the need for it, because we have the engine roaring and roaring on the road. So
it is tempting, this roaring, I can see that. Oh, lovely, lovely. And we don't even go full blast.
So the car really loves the road, and the engine really loves to be pushed. Of course it's fully restored, so it is an engine that works probably extremely well compared to unrestored engines. But it has been an enjoyment till now.
And do you want to say anything about the restoration, the quality of the car? Or?
I'm impressed by what Marks and his team have been doing. It obviously looks beautiful, but probably a lot of restorations look beautiful from the outside. But this looks beautiful in every detail, and also inside and under the car. Everything is really top notch. So I think they've done a great job to restore this car and to make it a very enjoyable drive, as well as it is a head-turning beauty.
And I remember when you first contacted me, you asked if I could help you to find a nice car to fulfill your dream, and then you also mentioned a budget. I remember vaguely, and in the end, you increased that budget. And do you regret, or would you think that it was a worthwhile investment to spend something more?
Well, till now I don't regret it. We'll see in the future.
Yeah.
No, initially maybe based on this perception that the E-Type doesn't have a lot of space inside and so forth. We were talking more about the 4.2 to allow for that additional space. But then slowly I got more in love with the earlier versions, and when this 61 3.8 appeared in the discussion, obviously I was tempted, because I think that it probably will retain much better value in the future. So while I want a drivable car, I also want something that will hold or even increase value in the future. And then of course an earlier example is lovelier. So 61 welded louvers, flat floor. It is a bit of a collectible thing as well, even if that was not really the main intention with the car. But I think it's a good collectible that is also drivable in the same time, due to the very detailed restoration it went through. So yes, I think we came to this car through a lot of discussion with you, Michael, and with me understanding a bit more and more about the choices that you have with when looking at the E-Type. And it's probably a learning curve for me as well, initially to understand all the versions and the options that you have, and now learning how to drive the car and learning how to hopefully properly take care of the car, so that I can enjoy it in the years to come. And I'm looking forward to enter the world of classic car events and meet other people with the same interest. So yeah, very exciting for me at the moment.
Yeah, great to hear that. So that's first-hand information. It's not me talking. This is original voice of an E-Type dreamer of his life, and now he realized that dream. And this, I'm a passenger and I'm part of it. I'm very proud, very happy, and looking forward to.
And I think it was great idea to suggest this road trip, not to have the car shipped back home, but to do this drive, even if it's 100-500 kilometers, to do it together with Michael, because it feels safe to be on the road with an expert like him. So even if something would happen, and obviously it is a classical car and something can happen, but it has been very enlightening for me to discuss with him on the road about the car and about how you drive it and how you take care of it, what can go wrong and how you solve that, how to prepare for a longer trip. Okay, now we have a bit of stau here.
Here we are passing the Hungarian mountains. It's a beautiful landscape. So you have seen that is 59 kilometers to Budapest. So eventually we made it. It was a very long trip. We had a few issues, but it's all within acceptance, and that is what the test drive was all about. To get things fixed all in one. So let's see how many miles we did. 484, and the bottom you see 2006. That's the total of the car, and we covered 1,484 kilometers. That is what we could do with the car within 2.5 days. So it is running perfectly, and it's so much fun to drive it. We had an issue with the regulator and the dynamo. The issue probably comes from the regulator. This is an aftermarket regulator. And the issue was that, probably that's what we have to investigate, that the regulator didn't convey the power to the battery, and the power was then sent back to the dynamo, and that was heating up and caused an issue with the bearing. So that was something we wanted to avoid, to have a total broken bearing in the dynamo, which would then jam maybe the bearing, and then we would be stuck with the blocked fan belt, and that would stop working the water pump. And without the water pump you have no engine cooling. So that is the reason why we decided to get the car picked up and get it trailered here, where we have all the time and tools. Because it's no point risking a brand new car doing more damage than necessary. And so now the good thing is this company is coming and is checking and remediating the issues, and then the car is again ready to go, and we have the experience of reliability of 2,000 kilometers already within a couple of days from new. So all the rest is really nice and fine. So everything is still working, apart from the dynamo and regulator, which we have to watch and replace for testing. But all the rest is just excellent, and the car is, I'm pretty sure the car is in very good hands. Has its own home now here in its own proper garage, and well, I hope to see it very soon on the road again. It needs to be registered here in this country, which is Romania, and I'm pretty sure this is the very only Series 1 E-Type in Romania.
Пошкрябай чуть-чуть. Вот это вот все, что осталось от втулки. Вот здесь, значит, с этой стороны есть такая маленькая надпись. Этот уже все. Ему конец. Это румынский Динамо.
Hello, Jenna. We're enjoying it. I think Michael even more than me.